whiteboard action.
Little whiteboard action. So like, let's talk about like, first, let's just touch on like, what is, the one thing it is going to make the biggest impact in your business right now. And so if that could be sales, or it could be operations, or like to grow your company, like right now, like what is the one thing that if you could like go into it that would just like start exploding?
I'm gonna say two: social media and maintenance plans.
Okay, so reoccurring
maintenance plans. Really start hammering on that monthly or that bi-monthly, however you want to do it, quarterly, year plans, but get people on a contract type deal.
So reoccurring revenue. So we've got two things here. And let's dive into one at a time. Guys, for everyone, come a little closer. For everyone, listening, this is Cole Schoenthal with A-List Pressure Washing. And today we're doing a whiteboard session with his business and myself, Austin Yarborough. And so we're talking about the one thing right now that would implement and grow his business. And this is something like all my coaches have done with me. And that like, I think it's really important to go through as an exercise, because then there start to be some transparency. I'm like, oh, so if I just put a little bit more attention into this, like it would like grow and explode my business. So like in social media. So when we talk about social media, how are we going to score these things? And so we're going to score this on recency. So recency is everything. And it's like how often you're posting, how often you're messaging, how many followers you're getting. Kind of starts with like the being online every single day on all platforms. So we're going to say recency, and then it's going to all platforms. And those platforms, we're going to do Google, two O's, Google My Business. And then that's going to be actually photos/vids. And then you're going to do Google updates. And so the reason why Central Coast Moving dominates the Google space and the Google Map Pack, we do this every single day on both locations, 365 days a year.
Wow.
If your competition does this 2 times a week and you're doing this 7 times a week, the law of atomic habits and exponential curve, it means that like that's 5 times. 5 times 52 is about 250 more times. And this is like with Google, with any types of posts on social media. So you could be like 250% more than other companies.
Wow.
And exposure by just recency. And so Google My Business, Google Update, and then we have like Instagram, which then goes to Facebook, right? And then also goes to Threads.
TikTok.
And then so TikTok, so I'm not very strong on TikTok, but it's good to have that out there because SEO is so huge. So TikTok is huge, but when you're doing TikTok posts, you can't make it on Insta and post it on TikTok. You gotta like make it in like Adobe Premiere or Canva or something, and then post to TikTok.
Right.
And then a huge one is YouTube. Because what happens is that King Google up here, owns YouTube.
Right.
And so when you Google something, videos show up, and you could be the top video too, which helps your SEO. So this is back-end support.
Wow.
And then there's other ones that are like less maybe important, but they're like alignable, LinkedIn, Twitter, X, like there's like other ones, but like these are kind of the main ones. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 locations. And the thing is like, this is about a 2-hour investment to curate, and then we're gonna add plus 1 hour to post. So that's 3 hours of time.
I was gonna say, because even an Instagram story in my morning,
it's
good at least 10, maybe 15 minutes,
Yeah.
Realistically.
And then so one thing, off the recency is that action beats no action. So when I say that, that means quality is less than quantity. So quantity is what you want. You know, although it's awesome to have something that people like, the more times that I'm in someone's feed, quantity times, it beats the quality. Obviously you want to improve both, but you can't improve quality without posting more, right? So the egg, one of them has to come before chicken or the egg, but like quantity comes before quality in every scenario. Like, you know, like, so like being like, so, you know, Central Coast Moving, like we had to have more jobs before we got better employees, right?
Yeah.
So quantity really makes sense in the universal rule of beating out quality. So we have to do, you know, get better quantity. And how do we do that is the real question. And that's where, you know, creating a standardized procedure, you know, doing screen videos. So an SOP, which is just by like recording what you're doing every day on your phone, like a, what is it called? Screenplay.
Right.
And then, you know, and that's going to be inside a Google shared drive. And then you're going to create folders. And then from there, you want to have like, you know, like raw content. Then you want to have, you know, posted content, right?
See, this was my issue going into it. I was always quality, but guess what? I didn't get any quantity out of it.
Exactly.
And I'm like, you know, sitting duck.
And then so like in here, and then you want to go to like videos and then pictures, and then, you know, and that way when you do delegate this, like, so you're saving it the appropriate way, it takes more time, and then you can now delegate this off. And so you have folders, you know, you might have another one that's just like logos. And then you might have play with ChatGPT and then do like a branding. And then like, you know, you might have like an expectation, right? Expectations. So like, this sounds easy, but there's a lot of structure that goes into all this. And like, but then, you know, to be recency, so you look at, like we talked about this in the podcast. So it's like, you know, so labor is about 30%, you know, of what you should charge and your money making value. So if if you paid yourself $30 an hour, you're really looking at $100 an hour money making value to the business. And then so just to achieve recency, there's virtual assistants out there in the Philippines that's $5 per hour. So right there, let's circle this in red. So if you can find a virtual assistant for $5 an hour, and you can start this part-time, so 20 hours a week. So now for 20 hours of work, which is almost all week, right? Like pretty much all week to get it minimal, like on your Instagram and Google pages, minimum, and curate the videos, which now they're a specialist at it. So let's look at the money savings of this. So this person is doing 20 hours a week, so it's $100 a week, and then times 4 is $400 a month, right? $400 a month is your cost. The benefit from this is that your value to the company was now, I mean, we can even go into the expenses, but your benefit to the company was $100 an hour. If this took you 3 hours per day, so you're gonna at 3 times 7, that's 21 hours per week times 4 is 84 hours a month that you're spending. So that's $8,400 of money making time between this. So there's an $8,000 gap. So $8K from here to there. So it's almost a simple decision that, like, I mean, obviously everyone thinks about like cash flow, like I can't afford that. But it's like, honestly, it kind of sounds like you can't afford to not be working on sales for your business.
Yeah,
you know, like the real issue is that you haven't built something to delegate because you can't afford to, like right now you're losing $8,400.
At least, yeah.
Or at least $8,000. There's an $8,000 gap. So I mean, that is exactly like with, you know, what's going on with social media and everyone, and like, this is why virtual assistants are huge. And like, does this make sense?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, not only are you're taking care of your local business with the My Google, right? And taking care of your CRMs and stuff along those lines, But then you have also this other opportunity with the World platform, basically.
Yeah.
And there's other money to be made in that as well.
And like exposure, right?
Mm-hmm.
Exposure equals money. How do I get more money? I get more exposure. More exposure, more money. Clean and simple, right?
That's right.
It's just massive action, and that's what we're taking as a business. That's what I'm working on. I mean, I just started my personal brand, like starting to grow that, and my school. If everyone wants to check out MovingArmy, a little plug for that. But yeah, so I mean, the more we can get exposed to the universe, the community, everyone out there, the more we can grow our business and make more money, and then you can reinvest this back into this. And then you have this perpetual cycle that goes more exposure, more money, more exposure, and then you could grow your business. Like, so right now, there's an opportunity cost of $8,000 that you could be taking by hiring a virtual assistant part-time. I only hire the virtual assistants part-time, and they're amazing. The culture's amazing, the people are amazing, and the original pushback that I got that it was like un-American. Like, what is the most American thing you could do to grow your American business, help Americans with your professional service, that you're amazing, you're the best in your industry, and then paying other Americans that work with you, and then providing an amazing paycheck for someone in the Philippines? Yeah. Like, that sounds like the most damn American thing you could do.
Yeah.
So, like, reassess your mindset on some of these things, guys.
And I'm sorry, America is the fondue culture. We are everybody. Like, it's America. Like, come on, you can't do that. And
so let's create a strategy for Cole today on the reoccurring revenue. And I'll just leave this up here, or I might just erase it just so we have it. Do you want to take a photo or anything like that? Yeah. I'll take a photo for you. We'll take a photo so we have this, and that, if he needs to reference it or anything like that. My handwriting's pretty good. Let's make sure the photo's clean. Okay. And then so let's get this all erased, and then let's just focus on his reoccurring revenue model and see how that works for him. Because there's a lot of things, with reoccurring, like in the moving industry, like we have storage. And honestly, I can tell you that my moving company, if you separated the two, my moving company breaks even, and if they soaked up all the expenses, then all my profit would be in my storage company. Pretty amazing, right? That the reoccurring revenue model is everything, but one feeds the other. I couldn't have the reoccurring without the other one. So that's where we got to look at and identify maybe some of the 1% to 2% tweaks that we could be presenting our clients that could make this reoccurring revenue. Because at the end of the day, you want to open up their mindset that you can allow them. So, and I'll tell you guys a story real quick, but you have to allow them to be reoccurring. If you don't allow them and tell about them, they'll never do it. And so the other day I was actually on a move. It was for a really, great relationship partner, a real estate agent. And during this move, there was a hard house. It was like 3 stories at the load, huge 2-story, going down into the unload. It was like 30 steps, it felt like. And so at the end of the job, and in the moving industry, you can tip. And so the client tipped me and one of the other leads an extra $50, and the whole team $100 each, which is a good tip on a move. And I even told the team, and was intentional, we're gonna get a $100 tip today before this ever began. You gotta manifest that shit.
No way.
Yeah, I tell them, you're on my team, we're going for hundreds. If not, don't even show up. I don't even want you out there.
Yeah.
I'm not intentional about it. And so with my team, I was talking with my driver, man, that never happens. So I was like, really? And I was like, well, are you allowing your clients to tip you more like that? And he's like, no. And so when you are doing the paperwork, change your perspective and look at it this way. So if hey, we just finished up, and be like, hey, look cool, here there's an opportunity for gratuity. And it's completely optional. You don't have to do it at all. But if you felt like we did a great job for you and, left it all on the table, I do welcome you to leave gratuity for the team. And in particular, you can tell me, I've been with you all day. If there were a few of us that did stand out more than the other movers, you can add a little extra just for them or give them a little bit more.
Yeah.
Is that all right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Perfect. Well, it was a pleasure to work with you, and I loved this day, and I thought we had a fantastic day and made a great connection. And I'm really looking forward to a 5-star review after we finish up here. Sound good?
Yeah.
And then you go and give them a shake, and then boom, they'll tip the shit out of you. You're allowing the universe to tip you more because there was no road from A to B, and now you have to allow them to do it. That's the thing, like you got to allow them to do it. So, thinking of allowing them to do it, what are you currently doing to set this up? Like, how does reoccurring work in your industry?
Definitely, at least locally, wineries, big time.
So we've got isolating. So step one would be isolate industries?
Industries, yes.
Okay.
So,
okay.
And there's a lot of areas based on location. So like small business, that's easy. I can most of the time land that, right? But then you.
How does it work though? How does it work like with reoccurring revenue for you? Like what are they on the subscription? Like how does the subscription work?
It's word of mouth. I have nothing set as far as like contract based. So I need to really get.
So number one, because you need to allow them. We need a contract, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
This pen is, I'm going to switch to red. Drive me nuts. So we need a contract, at least some sort of agreement, something they signed, they're committed to it. Right. They're not going to back out because that, that offers them safety. We're not selling features or advantages, which I'll tell you in a whole nother video. We're selling benefits. So this is, security that my house is going to be washed on time every time. Yeah. So you need a contract. What else do you need?
I'd say...
Maybe like a trifold or some marketing materials.
Yeah, good mark. Yeah, I like to do. I got a good folder. I got my A-list folders. 2 business cards inside. Got a W9. Pictures of my rigs. Licensed, bonded, insured.
Yeah, but what about just for this though? Because this is something a different product, right?
Well, you're also you gotta sell yourself.
So you're selling the service. Obviously, you sold it to get there, right?
Right.
And the second sale is actually easier than the first sale, right? Here, step in a little bit more. So we need to really focus more energy on the reoccurring model. And what does that look like? Paint me a picture of what reoccurring model looks like. So Cole, today was amazing. You have a beautiful home. I'd love to get, collect. We did 5-star wash for you, right? Yes, you did fantastic. I'm like, great. So obviously your house looks like the best it's ever looked, right? And when people drive by, they see your house, it looks great, it makes you feel good inside, right? Mm-hmm. And then, what else do you like about it? And then they're like, oh, well, I like this. And it's it's easier to see out of your windows, right? And so, and if you were going to sell your house, the most value to ever sell your house would be washed, right?
Yeah.
And then, your driveway, it makes you feel good when you roll up and there's no tire marks. It looks beautiful. And then your neighbors, your friends, your family, everyone's looking at this and they're like, man, their grass is pretty green over there, figuratively speaking, right?
Right.
So what do you think about making this more, reoccurring where, where I can come back, make you feel great inside when you come home? It's just kind of getting your hair cut. When you get your hair cut and you just leave that salon and you're just let's just seize the day. Let's just take this on. That's the same feel that we get, that we offer to our clients in this reoccurring model that's going to just make your house look amazing. It's even going to extend the life of your home and your driveway, everything like that, because it'll continue to make it look beautiful. Does that sound like a good idea?
Absolutely.
Fantastic. Here, sign here.
Yeah.
Boom.
Yeah, boom.
So what we did there is we painted a picture and told a story and kind of compared it to something else. Mm-hmm. And then, I didn't exactly build any fear because you didn't have an objection, but the fear would be have you ever had what about cobwebs and stuff? Could start fires or things like that in someone's house, right?
Yeah.
Or I don't know, there's a holiday coming over, does you want to have everyone look at your house? It looks dusty or the windows are kind of not looking good. Right. I do have a recurring model with your neighbor and they seem to love it. They actually referred me over here and that's why we're working together today. And I think I know it'd be an amazing fit for you. So, we do need a little bit marketing materials. And then, so we're going to start now, comparing and telling stories. So we're going to tell, we need to practice the presentation demonstration. Presentation. Because we have to manifest this. We have to create, how do I speak this into reality. And then so obviously you need some pricing. So like what is your pricing right now for reoccurring? Is there a discount? Is there like a flat fee if you sign up for a year? What does it look like?
I actually haven't set that up yet as far as my contract and what really to go after, but when I do look for those, there's so many variables, so it's so hard to like pinpoint. You can't just have like a set like
it's not simple.
Car wash.
Yeah.
It's like come in here, you get the deluxe for 90. You do this, no way. There's way too many things that you got to take note in.
What about after you've done it? Like it was $1,000, $500 to wash the house today.
Yeah.
What would the reoccurring model? Would it be the same 500, or would there be like it's a little bit easier to wash on your end?
Depends. Most of the time, though, at least how I tend to do everything, it takes longer than expected. Anyways, every time we always go above
Over
and beyond
delivery.
and to exceed the expectations. Especially with something like this, it's not just I'm gonna clean your window. When there's cobwebs and there's dirt, there's dust. No. Yeah, they wanted a clean window, but everything around it. So it's like,
But if it was like $1,000 to, in theory, to perform your service, what would it look like for a reoccurring model? Like, why would they do this rather than call you? What is the, let's identify like our unique selling proposition, our USP.
I have the best equipment.
So that's a feature, continue.
Yeah.
We're focusing on features. Like, what are the benefits? Like, how does it make you feel, right? Like, it makes you feel great. Like, you just got a brand new haircut, right?
Reset, makes you feel good. Obviously, like we said, maintenance and just keeping your house up to the maintenance.
So it's maintenance. So, it makes you feel good.
Right.
What about the maintenance, though?
Well, it's a perfect example. You're over at the coast. That's an actual maintenance thing.
Oh, on the beach, huh?
Yes, their windows and screens get rusted out. So without that continuous washing, you're gonna get the oxidation.
So your house is safer. Safer house, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it makes you feel good. Your house is safer, and it prolongs the life. Extends life.
Your investment.
Life. Yeah, and then it's an investment. It's an investment, right?
Right.
So it's like, when you work with A-list pressure washing, like this is an investment into your home. This is an investment in feeling great inside every time you come to your house. Mm-hmm. And it actually extends the life of your house. Not only does it beautify the house, right? Like, no one else is going to come by your house. And you could get it painted. That's going to cost you. We can do so, like, you can also compare it to like, you can anchor them in price. Like, look, to get the same feeling, it's about probably $30,000 or $20,000 to $30,000 to repaint your house.
Yeah.
It's like, what if we could extend the life of the paint? I don't know if that does or not, but like we could, in theory, extend your house or just got painted, and that was $20,000. And like, so what I'm, presenting is only $1,000 a month. So at the end of the year, we're at $12,000. It just increased the lifelong of your house by like 5%. It made you feel good every time you came home. Feel good inside. Your driveway was amazing. Your house was amazing. And it was just a great overall investment into the well-being of your family and yourself and your attitude. It's like, sounds like a pretty good idea, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like, what are the main, and then we're going to probably like practice our objections, right? So our objections here. So keep getting closer. It's okay if we get close. So like, what are your main objections going to be like when we're talking about this? Like, it's price. I don't need it. Is it a need problem, or like, what is the main challenge?
I'd say definitely a need thing.
Like they don't need
what
that.
What kind of person you are, though.
How often does the average person wash their house? Like your clients, like they care about it.
Depends on where you live. You go to the beach, they can probably get their house washed twice a year, honestly.
Yeah.
And you come over here, maybe it's once every 5 years, depending on where you live. You live on a dirt road, or you live downtown Paso. Those buildings on Vine get pretty dirty. It's where you live and kind of tailored to that house. But And then you get into the windows. That's something else too. Like I got.
Yeah, so windows are a whole separate service, right?
Totally. Well, they're same, but different. So you can do, windows on top of the soft wash.
Well, how often would you wash your house, and how often would you, pressure wash the house and wash the windows? So we have coastal, right? We have coastal, and then we have like inland, right?
Yeah.
And then so frequency, right? Frequency, and then we have of like windows, and then we have like house, right? And so like what's the frequency of coastal?
I have a client for windows that does every 2 weeks. I wash their windows.
Okay, so is that every client? What's the average?
No, I'd say two clients do that.
So 2 weeks to, what's the range?
2 weeks? What do you mean range as far as?
So if like I paid you to wash my windows, I owned an Airbnb. 2 weeks to when would be like the max, besides never. Like how often would a reoccurring client wash their windows?
So
every other month, once a quarter, or never, besides never.
As far as the coast, I wash their windows, and in 2 days they're hammered again. So you could realistically be there every day.
So, but like, what's average though? Like, so 2 weeks. You have some clients at 2 weeks.
Yep.
What other clients do you have at 1 month, 2 months? Is that average?
Average.
Okay, so 1 month. So we have a range of, and maybe we'll just do ranges. What about the house on the coast?
The house, haven't had too many washes over there, honestly.
So let's just like once a year?
Yeah, once a year.
One per year. And then inland, like with the frequency on windows, because it's dustier, and then, yeah.
Quarterly, I'd say, is usually how that works, for me at least. Every 3 months.
Okay, so we have quarterly, so it's 90 days.
Yeah.
9 days, and then.
Then a wash.
Come a little closer. Yeah, so every 90 days average. Okay, and then a house wash.
Right.
Once a year.
Once a year, maybe once every 2-3 years.
Okay, once per year, to maybe like once every 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Well, 3 years. Okay. So now we've identified that like these are your target ideal clients, right? So like our clients are Bob and Susan, right? So your ideal client right now lives on the coast, right? Probably a 2-story home, I imagine.
Most of the time.
2-story home. They live on the coast, 2-story home. They like, probably, what is the average income? Like, what kind of car do they drive?
Over there, beachfront, G-Wagon.
So a house is usually 2 million plus, right?
Yes.
2 million plus home. Okay. Anything about their personality or anything like that? Like they're kind of like whose grass is greener kind of vibe? Green grass, do they own contractor businesses? Are they business owners? Are they like tech people? Like what have you noticed in these people?
Business owners.
So business owners is one. Don't have time, right? So short on time.
Or too
Or busy.
old.
Or old. Okay, so we have seniors.
Yes.
Seniors, because the old guy probably did the shit when they were younger.
He doesn't want to do it anymore.
Okay, and then probably their combined income is at least 2 to 400K per year.
Gotta be something.
So 250 plus income per year. I mean,
Yes, man.
Yeah. So we've identified for you that your most profitable client lives on the coast, has a 2-story home, $2 million house, business owner, likely, seniors. So you could probably get some data on this and send them mailers, and you could send it every 90 days maybe.
Oh, yeah.
and then get really in front of these people all the time. You could do some door hangers, things like that. So like this would be the types of consumers, right, that are going to do this. And this is on the residential side. And then so like with your past clients, so with reoccurring revenue, we need to get in front of our clients, right? Have you heard of MailChimp, Constant Contact, anything like that?
MailChimp, yep.
Okay, so I like Constant Contact, but we'll just put like email campaign, right? Email campaigns. And so with moving, there's triggers in my software that says like, gives them information, like as the lead as we go up to moving day, blah, blah, blah. So like how many days does someone book with you prior to service? Is it same week, same day?
Oh, no, at least a couple weeks out.
So they book like how many weeks out average?
2.
Book 2 weeks. Oh, okay. So email campaigns, so they're booking 2 weeks, then they go to service, and then so like, and one thing that I think a lot of people are like concerned with is that they're in front of people too many times, right? Mm-hmm. And they're like, like bothering them. And so you want email, and then you want a video campaign, and this doesn't have to be through email. I would send someone a video every fucking month. Hey, look, it's a reminder. So we're going to do monthly, because 2 weeks is a stretch, but monthly is kind of easy. Right. So we're going to have monthly e-blast, and we're going to include updates, something maybe like content, maybe a video, and then review count. And then like what's to come in the future, right? Future. And then maybe like your like top referral spotlight. That's one that we do. And so this can now not just go to your clients. So you have clients, and it also goes to referral sources, right? So it makes sense to have a list, an Excel sheet of all your clients and all your referrals, right? And to start tracking these things. So now we're doing a monthly e-blast that goes out to all these people that's just reoccurring, to letting them know. And then on top of that, we're gonna have a video. And then we're gonna have, a video like, hey, it's cool, a personalized video. So let me add personalized, right? And this is gonna take time. But like, when you invest in that VA that we're talking about, now you have 3 hours of money making, and you like to go hunting, which we talked about in the podcast. Mm-hmm. This is hunting shit, right? Yeah. So now we're gonna do a personalized video. It's like, hey, it's Austin over at A-List Pressure Washing. Cole, it was a pleasure to work with you. I love your house. It's been about a month since I was there last. I just had an automated reminder. I just sent you an email, and I'd love to put you on the calendar, so we could wash your windows, take care of your home, and, that way you can see clearly. I know it's important to you to have a clean house, and, I just want to say hi and, let you know you're, on my mind, and I hope you're doing well. Boom. Send that shit. Then you're going to also send an SMS, text. Same thing, SMS text, right? And then you're gonna be like, hey, was thinking about you, wanted to share this video, right? Or you could just be like, like kind of personalizing a little bit, like, how have you been? What's the, like, hey, how's it going? Mm-hmm. What's the latest? How's your business doing? So, like, you could say like, how's the business doing? Business owners love to talk about their businesses. How's their business doing? And then, or talk about someone like, how's your family? How's your family doing? How's your dog? People love their dogs. Old guys love like cars, right? Yeah. They love their cars, their family, and their dogs. Like that's fucking 1, 2, and 3 right there. Right. Boom, boom, boom. So it's like really right now that we just need to identify that we need to touch more base, and then we do these campaigns, which leads us back to the recurring revenue model. And then I would say step 1, figure out a contract, figure out some marketing, which this is including the marketing, and then figure out presentation, pricing, unique selling proposition, and then how to handle the objections. Obviously there'd be price, timing, not sure, you know, main ones, right? And so like with this, I mean, and you do this with all your clients and touching on them, like you'll just start, this is what they talk about when you create your own economy. Like there's no slow season when you're creating your own economy, and this is what you're gonna do with your business, and it's gonna freaking explode, dude. The second you start doing these things, like it's just gonna like, you're gonna like, holy shit, it was that easy. Because all I had to do was delegate a little with the virtual assistant, social media, and then focus on the number one thing that could grow my business, which really isn't social media. It's creating recurring revenue and having recency with your clients. Remember we talked about the marketing and recency? Right. So if you do all those things together, and then you can have, honestly, man, you could have like your virtual assistant doing another 20 hours of work for your business. Yeah. Closing out accounts, selling invoices, sending invoices, whatever it takes. You know, helping with some of the content, SOPs, hiring, firing, whatever it may be, man, presentation. So that's, you know, that would be like my biggest whiteboard session that I could do for a business that I think that'll like really change your business for the better, and we'll, you know. I'm bumming out, man. I want to get on it now. Let's go. I know. Let's go. Good stuff. Yeah, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in about this whiteboard session with Cole at A-List Pressure Washing. Cole, what's the best way for a client to get in touch with you? Give me a call, 805-975-5877. We're going to put it on the screen here, and then your Instagram, social media handles, put that on the screen too. A-List Pro Services. Shout out A-List. Let's go. Let's go.